Welcome to GoVMlab, India's first job-ready VMware learning platform where professionals meet experts to revolutionize their VMware careers.
Hello everyone, welcome to GoVMlab, VMware Cloud on AWS Deploy and Manage lecture series. In this particular lab exercise, we are going to walk you through a step-by-step procedure of accessing our VMC vCenter server using its private IP over DX connectivity. Now, so far throughout our lecture series, we have been accessing our vCenter server. But you would have noticed that we have been accessing our vCenter server using its public IP, and we have been leveraging our public network for that, which is your internet. But now in the certain scenarios, you would have a scenario where you do not have a internet reachability, but still you want to access your VMC vCenter server over private connectivity, and that is where this lab is going to really useful, where we will demonstrate you that how do you access your VMC vCenter server over its private IP using DX connectivity. So with that, let's get started. This is our VMC SDDC, as you could see that. And now let's log into our networking and security section, which provides the complete overview of our VMC networking and security landscape. Under system, if you really see that we have a something called Direct Connect. Now, before we go and start exploring Direct Connect, one of the thing I really wanted to highlight here is that if you really see that we have a something called DX connectivity here, right? So you do see that we have a DX connectivity, and one DX or one Direct Connect WIF is already attached to my VMC SDDC, right? Which means that we have already established a DX connectivity, which is a private connectivity between my on-prem data center and my VMC SDDC, and we have a Direct Connect WIF is already attached here. So now let's go and click on Direct Connect. Now, once you click on Direct Connect, as you could see that this is my DX WIF, and this is the interface. As you could see that this is my DX interface. This is the DX ID, as you know that, and this is the local IP and the remote IP, because DX always gets established between two endpoints, local endpoints, which would be your VMC endpoint, or remote endpoint, which would be your on-prem data center endpoint. And that is my remote ASN number. And currently, as you could see that the BGP status is up, which means that we have successfully established a DX connectivity between these two endpoint, on-prem data center and my VMC SDDC. Now click on that WIF. Now if you really see that what all the routes have been learned and advertised over this DX connectivity, so you could see that it has learned all the routes because the network is 0.0.0/0, and the advertised routes. Now what is the meaning of advertised routes? Advertised routes means what all the routes I am as a VMC advertising it to my peer, and that is where we'll see that advertised routes, and you could see that these are the routes what we are advertising it to my other endpoint of the DX connectivity. So you could see that there is a network like 10.72, 10.73 is the network what I'm advertising it, right? So now let's click on overview section, and as you could see that one of the thing you would have noticed that there are networks right here for my appliance subnet, right? Because vCenterServer is my appliance, NSX Manager is my appliance. And if you really see that the appliance subnet, what do I have it here is 10.73.22.128, which means that 10.73 is my CIDR for my appliance subnet. And you would have noticed that all these routes, we are anyway advertising it to my the other endpoint, my on-prem data center. Now click on open vCenter server. Now one of the thing, if you really notice that why I was saying that whenever you click on open vCenter server, we were usually the vCenter FQDN was resolving to its public IP, and that is the exact reason we were accessing our vCenter server over the internet or so-called public network. And if you really see that, look at this particular URL. So whenever you click on that open vCenter button, right, you do see that it is getting resolved to the public IP. So this is the public IP assigned to my vCenter server 35.81.193.72, and you can see that the same IP have been highlighted in the URL as well. So this is my vCenter FQDN, and if I do not have a DX connectivity, and if I have an internet reachability, or my VMC SDDC have an internet reachability via IGW, you will see that this FQDN will be resolved to the public IP, and the public IP would be 3581.193.72. But now, as you could see that the moment I try to click on open vCenter server, it says that the connection has timed out and it is not reachable, right? Which shows that my vCenter server is not accessible. Now let's go and look at the vCenter FQDN. The reason why my vCenter server was not accessible, let me explain you again here. The reason is that whenever you click on vCenter server, this is the FQDN of your vCenter server, and it was trying to resolve to this public IP. That is the default configuration what we are having it. And once my VMC SDDC have a internet reachability via IGW, and that is where it used to get resolved in this public IP. So my vCenter FQDN used to get resolved in this public IP, and that is the exact reason you used to have access to your VMC vCenter server. But in this particular lab exercise, as we know that we do not have an internet reachability, my vCenter server cannot reach out reach out to the internet, and that is the exact reason we have a DX connectivity established, and we will be resolving this vCenter server FQDN to its private IP. And what would be that private IP? This is the private IP. So now this time we want our vCenter server FQDN to be resolved to its private IP instead of public IP. And that is what this lab exercise is all about it. So now we're going to make those changes now. So click on edit, and currently as you could see that by default this FQDN is getting resolved to the public IP, but we will click here, and we want to make sure that as when a user click on vCenter tab, I want this vCenter FQDN to be resolved to its private IP. Click on save here, and now as you could see that it tells us very clearly that now vCenter FQDN will be getting resolved to its public IP. Sorry, it will be getting resolved to its private IP. And look at that, it says that and this private IP will be resolvable over the private connectivity, which is our DX connectivity. So now let's click on vCenter server, and we should be able to having access to our vCenter server. But if you really see that still I'm not able to access the vCenter server, even if I have made the changes that as when I access this vCenter FQDN, it should get resolved to its private IP. But still the problem here is that the vCenter server is not accessibility. Can you guess the reason why it's not accessible? And just like our previous lab exercise about policy based VPN, route based VPN, XVPC connectivity, one of the things we have seen that even if the tunnel is up, even if the cross VPC connectivity is established, still we were not able to access it because of the firewall rule. The firewall rule has to be created to allow this communication, and that is the exact reason we'll go to the network security, we'll go to our gateway firewall, and one of the most important thing that this time whenever you're creating a firewall rule, you will be creating firewall rule under your management gateway, not to the compute gateway, because compute gateway is designated for your workloads. But management gateway, because my vCenter server is being managed by VMware, it's a management VM, right? And that is where you should be creating the firewall rule under the management gateway. So click on management gateway, click on add rule, and create a rule saying that allow VC access. Now what is going to be the source? So I'm gonna say I'm gonna open up, as of now it's not a right practice, but we will be gonna go and open up this particular source as all the networks over the internet. So I'm just gonna go and create one group here. So I'll just say it's a desktop machine. Compute member, let's say you want vCenter server to be accessible only from your desktop machine. Then in the compute members you can only define your specific IP address. You can define the IP address of your desktop machine, but as of now, because it's a lab environment, so I'm going to give all the IP address mentioned here. As you could see that I have defined all the IP addresses here, right? All the IP range I have defined it here. Now click on save, click on view members, and now you will see that all the networks I have allowed to get access to my vCenter server. Now on the destination, what is going to be my destination? So source is going to be all networks, but destination is going to be my vCenter server. So as you could see that it is showing ESX and NSX manager. So we will go and select vCenter server as a destination. Click on apply, and which all the services you want to be get connected to the vCenter server. So I want to connect to my vCenter server over HTTPS, SSO, and ICMP as well. So I might test ICMP traffic as well. That's the reason I'm allowing ICMP as well. But HTTPS, SSO is very much mandatory. Click on publish, and now as you could see that we have created a firewall rule successfully, which says that any of the machine which is trying to access to my vCenter server over these three services, you should allow that communication, right? So now let's go and refresh this page, and this time you will see that your vCenter server will be accessible and it will be getting resolved. It's FQDN, whatever you see that this FQDN will be getting resolved to its private IP. So that's where we're going to go and refresh it and look at that. The moment I refresh it now, I can access my vCenter server, and this time you are accessing your vCenter server over the private connectivity, which means that your vCenter FQDN is getting resolved to the private IP, and now you can access your VMC vCenter server even without having any internet connectivity. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to continue watch this lecture, then join our exclusive YouTube membership program only at the price of 299 rupees INR per month and unlock your VMware potential with GoVMlab. With this membership program, you can unlock all of our members only content published on our YouTube channel. You can watch out the videos presented on your screen to know the benefits of GoVMlab subscription as well as the membership program. Thank you. So this conclude our discussion upon how do we access our vCenter server over the private network, so-called DX network, and we have demonstrated you that you can access your VMC vCenter server over the private IPs as well. That's the end of our discussion. Thank you.